Hey guys, this is Shane and welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. Today, I'm going through the numbers behind making basically $15,000 profit selling books on eBay and Amazon in the past year. So I'm going to unpack some of that data. Let's talk about, the scalability of things and kind of how you could use this information, not only just giving you a data point on what's possible and the scalability of these numbers, but how you could use this to decide if you want to get into book selling, or kind of to look at what your average sales and profit numbers are, and just to explore this whole concept of, can you make money selling books? And my experience this last year is, once again, yes, I can. I've made about $15,000 profit. So before I jump into the numbers, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the channel support, the views, the comments. I look forward to feedback on this, on what your average sales and profit numbers are, just for comparison for viewers. And when we're a community on selling and book selling, it makes everybody stronger, and it's good information. So this is not about me. Everybody likes numbers on what you can make. It's these are popular videos. It's good things, but it's healthy. The big thing, it's healthy to evaluate how you've done. And there's some really good information for you as a viewer, especially if you're just getting into it, on expectations as well as scalability and where you could go if you can get into this. So I will say that the numbers I'm going to show are my experience is that these are completely scalable. And what I mean by that is, if I made $15,000 of profit, if you want to make $30,000 profit, or whatever your number is, it's you take your average profit per book, your average sales per book, kind of the quantities, and it's completely scalable. What you can make in this business of book selling is directly proportional to how many books you can get out there, how many books you can find, and how many books you can actually get onto eBay and Amazon. Now, my numbers are going to be for eBay and Amazon. I'm primarily an eBay seller. I started selling Amazon almost 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, and I kind of do it as a side gig to my side gig. I'll say that again. That too is, again, I'm a part-time book seller. I do it as a hobby. I have a hobby that makes money. I love finding books. I love getting them to people who enjoy them. It's therapeutic for me to just go to my library store, or a thrift store, or an estate sale, and browse around in old books. I love them. I collect books. I love to resell, and I do, as a curator of the lost. That name has meaning for me. It's why I picked it. I love finding these treasures, these lost things, and for somebody else to like it and want it. Yeah. So anyway, there are a lot of people out there that do this full time. You're going to blow these numbers away, but I think your comments will be interesting on this too for people, is on what the average numbers and the scalability issues are. The other thing is, if you're a new seller, to temper your expectations. Every book you buy is not going to sell right off, and it's a numbers game. You really do have to get things in. So with all those kind of preface things, let's just jump into the numbers, and I'll start popping up some screenshots here and there. So I'm just making this stuff up. I'm not just pulling it on behind you. These are my numbers, for good, bad, or indifferent, right? All right, so first let's look at eBay. On eBay, I sold 522 books on eBay this year for a total of $16,539. That's sales. Now my net was $10,253. So I sold 522 books, average sales price of $31.68, and that netted me a little over $10,000 profit. So my average profit per book was $19.64, just under $20 a book profit. Now that's everything but my cost of goods. Here in North Alabama, I'm blessed with books that are 50 cents, $1, $500, 522 books. Most of those are probably dollars, some of them are $2, some of them are 50 cents. I'm probably taking another $500 to $800 off of that net profit for my cost of goods, right? But the key thing here is that the fees on eBay, when eBay reports sales, it includes your shipping and their fees, right? So the key thing is, I had $16,500 in sales, but I did have, the net's where the rubber meets the road, right? I made a little over $10,000 in my pocket. My average profit per book was basically just under $20, $19.64. Now, if I go into Amazon, actually on Amazon this year, I sold $8,533 worth of stuff. It was 264 books and VHS, or not VHS, the DVD sets. Basically, my average sales price was $32.32, which is funny because my eBay average sales price was $31.68. It was right at my Amazon. I had some sales on eBay this year, some really high dollar book sales, $500-600 books, some sets that were big, and it really biased my average sales price up. On Amazon though, that $8,500 of sales, I retained what went into my account, transactions, what went to me into my bank account, was $4,617. So I retained 54% of those Amazon sales. For Amazon, it seems like for media sellers, this 50%, 50-50 split with Amazon is kind of typical. So retaining 54%, my margin, I've got a little bit of margin there. That's nice, right? Just a little bit of margin. But my profit per book on Amazon ended up being actually less than my profit per book average. It was a $17.48, okay? So if I put those numbers together, I sold $25,072 worth of media, mostly books, some DVD stuff on Amazon. $25,000 sold for a total of 786 items. Again, mostly books. That was a profit of $14,870 with both platforms combined. So we're just gonna round numbers. I sold $25,000 worth of stuff. I made $15,000 profit on right at 800 items, right? Just to keep it simple. If you look at that, that means that I retained 60% of my sales as profit, all right? And that my average sales price per book was just right at, it was $31.90, right at $32. And my average profit per book was $18.91, right at $19 across platforms. So if I had this, that's my summary for the last year. $25,000 sales, $15,000 net profit, roughly 800 books with an average sales price of just about $32 and an average profit of about $19 a book. Those are the numbers I would use if I were thinking about how to scale things. Again, it's all about what I can get out there. Now, I will say in my experience this past year, I had a couple of times, there were a couple of things. One, I had a couple of times in the year where I just fell off the wagon. I had other stuff going on. I had some business stuff. My aunt was going through a lot of health issues, and she didn't have any kids, and me and my brother were really helping her. And then on the so popping up an eBay curve, you'll see there was like a whole month that I didn't even list anything. You can see my sales really dropped off. And so there are times when I just couldn't push it. And then on Amazon, I started the year really strong. But then again, I kind of got off my sourcing wagon a little bit, and I just couldn't push as much product to Amazon. And you can see that in my Amazon curve. I was really strong in the beginning of the year, the first 3 or 4 months. And then my sales, they halved because you got to feed the beast. Okay. So, what I can say about that is you just got to do the best you can do. I know what I'm doing reasonably, and it happens. Life happens, things happen. You do the best you can do. Now, if you're a full-time bookseller, I know that's a harder thing. You got to grind it out every single day. I'm doing this as a hobby. I'm doing this as a side gig. It's what I could do. I'm okay with that. And I think that's an important takeaway on all this for you. If you're getting into it new, or if you're just not happy, you do the best you can do, right? That's what it's all about. Have some fun with it. Do the best you can do. So this shows me some goals that I need to have for this next year. I need, I really, I need to be more consistent on my listing, as always, to avoid these dips. And if I can push my sourcing to Amazon, it really does work out. But it's all contingent on what you can find and the sourcing and how many items you can find. So, if you're not finding big book buys, right, it's really hard to push those numbers. So that's that's kind of my year in review, and it's always healthy to see that and do that and try to improve and just, you know, put the, as I say, put the stink eye on it and see if it makes sense. And I'm pretty pleased with those numbers. It is interesting too that my eBay stock, you know, my average sales and profit stuff went up more the year before. My average sales price and average and average profit on Amazon was noticeably higher than my eBay. But I think it's part of that also for me is I'm kind of concentrating a little more on, I'm being more selective in what I buy and going for higher price stuff. And so maybe it's just because it's just time, right? I'm right now, I'm really wanting to focus on that and not it's not as important for me to sell as many. There's nothing wrong with that. If I like it and I can make $10 off of it, I'm going to do it, right? But I'm being a little more selective just because of my time. And anyway, that's it. I made $15,000 selling books this last year. So you can do it too. It's all scalable. You can do the math. Do that, you know. I'll close with this. This is a whole nother video we can do on expectation. But look, using that $18, it was $19, well, it was $19 profit. For easy math, let's just say it was $20, you know, profit. If you want to make $30,000 a year, that means you're going to be selling, you need to sell 1,500 books at that profit in a year, which means you're going to be selling about 100, do math in my head, dangerous. You need to be selling 120 to 130 books a month, which in a 4-week month, that means somewhere around 30 to 35 books a month, you've got to be replenishing things. So you not only have to sell, say somewhere between 30 and 50 books a month, you got to find that many to feed the beast, right? So when you're looking at the scalability, you do the simple math. It's a whole, I've done videos on this before, but it's another topic, right, that always is good to revisit. But you can do that math too and look at scalability and see how that works for you. So anyway, remember, see cool, buy cool. Let's have a great 2024. Everybody, you know, have fun doing it, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.